Koyo looked at Sparxie and said, what if we gave her an evil twin who live streams and eats every skill point in your inventory? And somehow, that became the best elation DPS in the game right now. Sparxie's a 5-star fire elation carry who turns every fight into a content creator highlight reel. She starts a live stream, farms engagement like chasing an algorithm, and converts your entire SP bar into an absurd amount of punchlines and damage numbers that fill your screen like a donation wall. She's SP hungry, she's loud, she breaks the fourth wall constantly, and she will carry your elation team harder than anyone else can right now. If you pulled Yao Guang already, this is the missing piece. If you didn't pull Yao Guang, we need to have a different conversation. But for now, let's build the internet's most unhinged character. Before we get into the build, let's talk Eidolons, because I know some of you are already hovering that pull button wondering how deep your wallet needs to go. And real quick, if you are going deep, don't over-prepare for your Oneric shards. LootBar.gg hooks you up with the best HSR top-ups up to 22% off. It is trusted with a 4.9 on Trustpilot, and the delivery is stupid fast. Links in the description. Use it, save some money, and those savings towards more pulls. Alright, anyways, Eidolons. At E0, Sparxie is very much a fully functional carry. You do not need Eidolons, but if you're feeling spicy, here's what they do. E1 gives 5 punchlines after every AHA instant and grants up to 15% all-type res pen based on how many punchlines you're holding. Solid team utility, but honestly, this one's really just a stepping stone. You grab E1 because you're on the way to E2. E2 is the game changer. After the AHA instant ends, Sparxie gets a whole extra turn plus 2 thrill. And every thrill consumed gives her 10% crit damage, stacking up to 40%. That extra turn is massive. It means a third fully powered turn after the AHA instant where you can dump more SP, generate more punchlines, and keep the snowball rolling. Pridewind literally calls that the recommended stopping point, and I agree. If you're going to invest, E2 is where the character transforms. E4 drops 5 extra punchlines on the ultimate and bumps Sparxie's elation by 36% for 3 turns. It's nice, but it's E4, the graveyard of the nice but not worth for most players. E6 is the Galaxy Brain Eidolon. Permanent 20% alt-type res penetration, and her elation skill bounce count scales with punchlines up to 40 extra hits. Paired with E1 Yao Guang feeding 40 punchlines on her ultimate AHA instant, this turns Sparxie into a machine gun that also shreds toughness bars. But this is also extreme whale territory, but absolutely disgusting if you get there. So TLDR, E0 is great, E2 is the sweet spot. If you're spending, everything else is luxury. And again, lootbar.gg for cheaper top-ups. Be smart with your money so you can be dumb with your pulls. Let's talk about Sparxie's kit. Sparxie's whole identity revolves around her skill, which starts a live stream. Think of it like Ching Q's enhanced mechanic, but way more degenerate. You activate the skill and her basic attack transforms into a bloom. Winner takes all, a blast AoE enhanced basic attack that deals 100% attack to the main target and 50% to adjacent enemies. But here's the thing, the skill activation itself doesn't count as using skill for SP purposes. It's the engagement farming procs that eat your SP. Every time engagement farming triggers, it boosts the enhanced basic damage multiplier by 20% to the main target and 10% to adjacent. And you randomly get one of 2 gifts. You either roll Unreal Banger, which gives 1 punchline, or you roll Straight Fire, which gives you 2 punchlines and refunds 2 SP immediately. You can keep triggering the engagement farming up to 20 times per skill use, and every single proc is stacking that enhanced basic higher and higher. When you finally end the live stream and let the enhanced basic fly, it hits like a freight train carrying smaller freight trains. I'm not joking. The enhanced basic also recovers 40 energy, which is important because her ultimate costs 160. That ultimate, Party's Wildin' and Cameras Rollin', gains 2 punchline and deals fire damage to all enemies scaled off both her attack and her elation stat. It's her big AoE cash out moment. Her talent is where a certified banger kicks in. While she's holding it, her enhanced basic deals bonus elation damage, 40% to the main target, 20% to adjacent, plus an extra bounce of 20% elation damage for every SP consumed during the skill. So if you consumed 8 SP during your live stream, that's 8 extra elation hits bouncing around the battlefield on top of everything else. And her ultimate gets an extra 48% elation damage slapped on during the certified banger too. The damage just keeps compounding, man. Her elation skill fires automatically during AHA instants. It deals AoE fire elation damage to all enemies, then does 20 additional bounces of elation damage to random targets. It also grants 2 Thrill, which Sparxie can spend instead of SP during her next livestream. And spending Thrill counts as consuming SP for all relevant effects. This is how she partially sustains her own SP appetite. Trace priority is a little different here than most characters. Elation skill and talents are the top priority by a massive margin. These are where the bulk of her actual damage comes from during AHA instants and certified banger states. Basic and skill and ultimate are all roughly equal after that, since the skill is mainly an enabler and the basic and ultimate scale similarly. Let's talk relics. Her best in slot is her 4-piece Ever Glorious Magical Girl. Quite a name, and quite fitting for Sparxie. It gives 16% crit damage from the 2-piece bonus, and 4 pieces make her elation damage ignore up to 10% of the enemy's defense baseline, plus an additional 1% per 5 accumulated punchlines up to 10 stacks. So a total of 20% defense ignore when fully ramped. For a character who generates punchlines this fast, you're hitting that cap almost immediately. Bonus, it farms the same domain as Yaoguang set, so you're being efficient. If you can't get a 4-piece Scholar, Lost in their edition is a workable alternative with the crit rate and skill and ultimate damage bonuses. For a mix and match, you can do a 2-piece combo, probably World Remaking Deliverer, Wave Strider Captain, or Ever Glorious Magical Girl. Prioritizes whichever gives you the best crit substats. For planar ornaments, 10 Goku at livestream is the pick. 60% crit damage baseline, and if you consume 3 or more SP in one turn, which you literally do in every single turn, you get an additional 32% crit damage for 3 turns. That's 48% crit damage from your planar set alone. The Wanderer's Banan Amusement Park matches the number if you're running the Preservation Danheng they gave us for free with Sparxie as his bondmate. Izuma Gensai works as a third option since Sparxie naturally runs with relation characters, giving crit rate and some attack. Now let's talk stat targets. For your main stats, you want crit rate on the body, attack percent on boots. You can use speed on boots only if you're chasing that nice AHA optimization and have Yaoguang's signature weapon. You want attack percent on the sphere and energy regen or attack percent on the rope, depending on whether you already capped her elation conversion at 3600 attack. For substats, you want to stack attack until you hit 3600 in combat after team buffs. Sparxie alone gives 45% attack. Her E1 gives her another 40%, so you might hit the cap easier than you think. After that, it's crit rate and crit damage, roughly equal priority. Endgame benchmarks, you want to have 3600 attack in combat after buffs, 100% crit rate in combat, 140 to 180% plus crit damage. Pre-combat and base speed is fine since Sparxie's action advance handles her turn economy, and don't overthink speed on this character, let your supports do that job. Let's talk Lightcones. Dazzled by a Flowery World is her signature, and it's an absolute monster. 48% crit damage permanently, the skill point cap increases by 1 for every elation character on the team, up to 3 extra SP, and for every SP consumed with her elation damage ignores 5% defense, stacking up to 4 times if she consumed 4 or more SP in one turn, which is literally every turn. All allies get 20% elation, it solves her SP issues, buffs the team, and cranks her personal damage through the roof. If you can afford it, grab it. If you're on a budget, today's Good Luck from the Battle Pass gives crit rate, stacking elation when she uses her elation skill. At S5, it's surprisingly competitive and not too far off her signature in personal damage. It just lacks the team utility. For full free-to-play players, Mushy Shroomy Adventures from the Forgotten Hall store. It's the same as the Yaoguang, uses elation stat plus elation damage vulnerability on enemies after elation skill use. It's not flashy, but it works, and it costs you 0 pulls. Let's talk team comps. The premium Sparxie squad is Sparxie carrying, Yaoguang amplifying, Sparkle doing sparkle things, and Dongheng, the preservation one, or Ho-Ho for sustain. This is an elation dream team right now. Sparxie increases the SP cap, regenerates 6 SP with her ultimate, action advances Sparxie, and dumps attack percent and crit damage buffs, and feeds directly into Sparxie's kit. Yaoguang shares elation, triggers free AHA instants, and slaps res penetration and damage vulnerability on everything. Sparxie converts all of this into screen filling damage numbers while simultaneously feeding the crit damage through her extension 6. It's a disgusting loop and it only gets better as the fight goes on. For my free-to-play boys and gals, swap Yao Gong for Remembrance Trailblazer and keep Sparkle and Don Hang because you got them for free, and please tell me you got them for free. You lose the Elation Synergy and the free Aha Instance, but you still get a solid amplification, and Sparxie can still function as a conventional DPS in the setup. Just know that the performance gap without Yao Gong is actually noticeable. Pridewind explicitly flags this as a major con. I just want to let everyone know. So she really wants her Elation buddy. One critical note about team building: do not pair Sparxie with SP negative supports. Beyond that, she absolutely needs. She is an SP eating machine. If you choke the SP supply, her entire kit stalls. Sparxie being SP positive is not only optional, it's kinda mandatory at this point. Sparxie is the real Elation DPS and sets the bar high. She generates punchlines faster than anyone. She scales into a monster as the fights go longer, and when future Elation characters drop, that A4 trace at 3 stacks is going to make her even more ridiculous. She's also a future proof to slide into a sub DPS role while still buffing the whole team's crit damage just by existing. If you're going all in on Elation, and honestly probably should be, Sparxie plus Yao Gong is the foundation everything else gets built off of. As I'm currently trying to configure my Twitch schedule, you can catch me live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick, maybe TikTok. Pick your poison. I will be everywhere. I love helping. Come say hi during the live stream. Follow me on X for updates. Join the Discord to share your build. And hey, grab some fresh merch at the gachaking.store. And again, by following this guide, you too can be a Gacha King. I'll see you in the next one.